Welcome back, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Banter Boys in the Premier League, where we dive headfirst into all the Premier League action and whatever it brings. I just want to take a minute to welcome Jacob Zek back to the pod. I know he's been gone for months on end, but welcome back, Jacob.
Appreciate it.
Some were concerned.
Some viewers were concerned, asking where you have been, what's been wrong, injury status, injury update. You can provide that. That'd be good.
Yeah, so unfortunately, was in a really tight match, 5v5, a little small-sided game, turned my ankle, heard a pop, turned around. I thought somebody was behind me. I thought I was going to body somebody, but nobody was behind me. Come to find out, I went and tore my Achilles. Obviously it's been a really hard injury on me, both physically and mentally, so I wanted to take a step back from the pod.
Hey, we welcome back. We missed all the jokes and the banter, obviously. Banter Boys. Hey, wish you a speedy recovery, Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Let's dive right into it. Winners and losers. I'll go ahead and kick us off. My winner is over the culmination of the past 2 weeks, but it's Arsenal. Shocking coming from me. Arsenal has scored like 11 goals and conceded 1 in the past 2 weeks. After I thought they were going to be going downhill a little bit, they've proved me wrong, so I'm gonna give them their flowers. So Arsenal's my winner, and my loser. Funny that Logan didn't come to this podcast today, but it's United. Losing at home to Fulham is just unacceptable for Manchester United. I don't care if you're missing Rasmus Højlund. He should have enough to beat Fulham. So,
yeah, I can piggyback off the back of that, Benny. I agree with you fully with my loser of Manchester United. Losing to Fulham is unacceptable. If they're trying to make fourth spot, you can't lose in that game. Let's be honest.
No,
you're losing your striker who scored 3 goals, 4 goals all season anyway. Play Scott McTominay. He scored 7 or 8. You have a striker already. You can make up for it. And then my winner. I'm sure we're going to talk about it for the rest of the podcast, but I'll just say Liverpool, full stop.
Not the rest of the podcast, but yeah, good stuff.
A little bit.
Winner, it's got to be Liverpool, as we were just talking about, continuing to get, results week in and week out. Like, that's what it takes to take, yourself to the top and get that Prem title. Loser of the week, got to be United. They're in shambles. I saw reports that they're trying to get rid of Antony as well. That man is atrocious. Probably, arguably, besides all of the players that have signed for Chelsea, definitely one of the worst signings of all time. But yeah, United just are not that team anymore, and I don't think they're going to be that team for a long time. But yeah,
hot take.
Wow. All right. My winner, same with Benny. It's gonna be Arsenal again. Another 4-goal performance that they put on a show. I mean, they're just buzzing right now. They're buzzing. My loser of the week is Nkunku, who is hurt again. That's all I'm gonna say about it for right now. Another 3 to 4 weeks. So that's all I have to say about that.
Jono.
Yes, brother.
What's happened with y'all's medical staff, and especially Nkunku? Like, I remember we talking in podcasts like in November and October, like, yeah, when he gets back. That man can't, what's the deal, bro?
What is his injury? What happened to him?
It's undisclosed. So,
that sounds about right.
It was a hip at one point, right?
I thought whether that's emotional, whether that's psychological in some way or form. Again, I have my contacts in Chelsea, and they have no idea as well. So we're in shambles at the moment. Shambles.
Not the moment. It's been the whole season, but
the whole season. It's been the whole season. Yeah, I know it has been the whole season.
But
I heard. Oh, go ahead.
I was going. Let's go ahead and go into it. Like, we can talk about Chelsea, who they made it to a cup final, right?
They did.
We thought they were supposed to win because they were favored at playing a bunch of high school kids, right, Birchie?
That is right. Yep, they had algebra at 9 a.m. the next morning.
Liverpool was missing, I think, maybe 5 or 6 starters.
Actually, we're missing. You could make up a squad of 10 starters that were out for that game. For Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could go through the whole team.
I mean, Darwin, no Salah, no Soboslai, no Trent
Jones, no Trent, no Matip, no Alisson.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it.
A whole bunch of kids bro, and they still lost. But.
And Chelsea had their probably their strongest roster, right, Jono?
Yeah, we did. If we're getting right into this right away, I mean,
yeah, we're getting right into it.
Okay, I mean, at the end of the day, I think the better team lost, and on the day, I do, for a variety of reasons. Couple of things I'll touch on right away, though. I will give Liverpool some credit. I will, for sure. Diaz, best player on the field, no question about it. I think that's the only way they were in that attacking final third without Chelsea just pissing the ball away. If Diaz didn't touch it, they weren't getting into a final third, or we'd have to give it away. So I got to give him credit. And y'all's keeper was absolutely phenomenal. I don't know his name. What's his name again?
Kelleher.
Yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, this man just puts on a cape when he plays Chelsea. What is this, 2 finals in a row where we have not scored a goal in 120 minutes, which, again, is absolutely beyond me. One of my favorite quotes for the weekend was, "Oh my goodness, there was someone looking down on Liverpool who was keeping this 0-0," which I think is a pretty realistic way to look at it. Not saying that we completely dominated the entire game. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not surprised. It's really just what an opportunity missed, if we're being completely honest. Conor Gallagher should have had a hat trick himself. If we're being completely honest here, easily. We had the chances. We didn't play bad either. Honestly, we didn't play bad. But like I said, it's just what an opportunity missed. On paper, Chelsea was better team. On the field, I think we did honestly a pretty
let me stop you right there, Jono, because I'm looking at paper right now.
Okay, yeah.
And from a neutral who had no skin in the game.
Yeah.
Liverpool had 24 shots to Chelsea's 19.
Yep.
Liverpool had 11 shots on target to Chelsea's 9.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool had 54 possession compared to Chelsea's 46.
How much of the game though? Van Dijk and Konate just passed the ball in the back.
I'm looking at paper right now, bro. I watched the game. We can do that.
Read me the XG then.
I don't have the XG. You want me to get the XG for you?
Yeah, give me the XG then, because I guarantee it. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I will bet my next paycheck that Chelsea's XG was above Liverpool by probably 1 or more.
These are some bold statements you're making here, Jono, because I also watched the game.
I really don't think so.
I agree that Chelsea may have had better chances than what Liverpool did.
Yeah.
But to say that Conor Gallagher should have had a hat trick, that's true. But why didn't he then? Like, I think chances.
Well, yeah, no, I think it's the same. It's nothing's new. Nothing. There's no different solution that we're like we can't finish. That's all it comes down to. Like if 1 or 2 of those goals come in, if we're being honest, I don't know if you guys scored 2 goals that game. I really don't. Of course, there were chances on both ends. No disrespect there. Like you guys hit the post, we hit the post. I can remember maybe
Jono.
What's up, bro? Your
next paycheck is not going to you, brother.
Why?
Liverpool had 2.6 expected goals to Chelsea's 2.17.
That's just not true. That's not true.
I'm looking at paper, bro. Like,
what are you looking at, Benny?
I'm looking at footystats.org.
Because I saw Liverpool's and they were 1, and I saw Chelsea's. I didn't know the exact number, but we were in the 2s.
I'm looking at.
I don't know about that one.
I'm just looking at possession, shots on target. You guys did beat them in offside.
I'm reading Chelsea 2.28 to Liverpool 1.7. That's what I'm reading.
Well, depending on who's keeping stats. All I'm saying is I watched the game. Forget the paper. From an eye test, Chelsea did play well.
We didn't play bad. Yeah, we didn't play bad.
That's been y'all's story all season. You don't play terrible. You play enough to win games, but you can't win games. Right. I think you got let down on the offside call with Nicholas Jackson running in.
Yeah.
First of all, Wembley, you need to upgrade your cameras because not being able to have a good, accurate line of the back line there is tragic.
Yeah.
Other than that, Jono, I think it was a pretty.
We could also question the Liverpool goal as well that Van Dijk scored, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think that's a little harsh to be given. And my reason for this, I agree that Endo was fully in an offside position. Let's talk about this for a second. He was fully in an offside position, right? Which is fine. They established that. The thing is, they've then subjectively said that I think it was Colwill was defending Van Dijk. But where they had paused it, or before the ball had even been kicked, Van Dijk was a yard in front of him between the goal and Colwill already, before Endo had even touched him.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no guarantee that he was going to stop him in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So for VAR to step in on something that's not clear and obvious per the SOPs, I would call it, to pull that goal back anyway is ludicrous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of people out there that disagree with me, but I mean, like I say, I agree with you guys that Endo was offside, but in my opinion, we should have already been 1-0 up anyway.
So would you say that he influenced that play whatsoever?
In my opinion, no, because Van Dijk was going to score regardless.
Yeah, see, I think that's where we're different opinions. I think it's a very soft call. I think we've talked about this earlier. I would have been really upset if it was the other way. Yeah. It was a very soft call. Was he more offsides than Jackson? He was. And did he somewhat block him very softly? I guess you can argue that. Again, if VAR is not a thing, that's a goal, no questions asked, and I don't think anyone says anything, It's just unfortunate that we're at the level that we're at, and VAR has a say in literally everything, every single thing. And like I said, it was very soft, but I mean, I guess I can understand both ways, but it's harsh. It's harsh.
Yeah. And then we can go back to, you talked about Luis Diaz. He did have a quiet game.
He did.
His matchup in Malagusto, John, I want to get your opinion on him. Yeah. How do you feel about Malagusto as a defender?
Honestly, I think he's a 20-year-old lad. You can tell from the get-go the man was nervous. Dribbled out of bounds 3 times in the first 15 minutes of the game. I think he did. But in all honesty, I thought he did a decent enough job. Really, I can't really think of. There might have been one true chance that Diaz just completely did him and had a shot on goal. But I mean, I thought Gusto had many recovery runs. He got the field really well. I rate the lad. I think it's going to be interesting to see when Reece James comes back, because from the last 2 performances, Gusto's been a pretty good piece at right back. So, like I said,
you took my next question out of my mouth. Is if and when Reece James ever does come back. If and when Reece James comes back into the squad, if and when, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Jono, who knows, right? Do you see him sliding straight back in? But I guess you've kind of already answered that. So,
like I said, yeah, I think it's depends on the situation. But Gusto's been solid. Like I rate him. He's gotten some assists in the last couple of games. He's done some pretty good defending. I think time will tell. You get experience in the Prem going on against top wingers like that. Like I say, he's only 20 years old and he's out there in a cup final. So I rated him. I did.
I think Reece James gets a spot back given the Euros are coming up.
I think
probably
so.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the bigger concerns for him and himself. But
I have one more question for the room as well. This has been a sensitive subject, at least in my household. I don't know about yours, Jono, but Conor Gallagher, we talked about him already. I want to ask Benny and Zach first. What is your honest opinion of Conor Gallagher as a football player? Does he fit Chelsea? Is he good enough for Chelsea? Is he too good for Chelsea? Is he their best player? How do you feel about him? I need to know.
I'll let Zach go first, get some words in.
Yep. To be honest with you, I think in terms of the engine aspect, I think he brings a lot to the team. My only, I guess, concern with him is that he is playing way too far forward and he's getting exposed. I mean, we talk about, you said a potential hat trick. Like, he had multiple one-on-ones, good opportunities, and he didn't score. Like, he's played well, decently over the past, couple of weeks, and he scored a couple of times, but I don't know. I think he's playing too far up, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like he's got that freedom role, and I feel like that's kind of feeding into his ego a little bit, and I think he needs to, like, go back to more being like an 8 or something, or even like a 6.
Okay. For me personally, if it's Chelsea Football Club we're talking about, I don't think he fits the bill. I think for the current situation they're in, yeah, he's fine. But if Chelsea want to take the next step and get back to where they should belong without not in 10th place, wherever you're at right now. He's not the player to do it. I think he could be a good squad player, like play in when his teams are getting, like the schedule's getting thick and they need some rotation and some balance. Yeah, but I don't think he's your guy week in, week out. He doesn't produce enough quality for me. I think he would be good at like a Fulham, Crystal Palace, West Ham type team, you know. I think Chelsea is maybe too big, even for Everton. Like I would love him at Everton, but I don't think Chelsea is for him.
Can I add one more thing? It's not even about Gallagher, but if we're on the topic of, can we talk about Caicedo? Because the more I watch that man, like he looks so lost out on that field, and it's even shittier of a situation because of how much he is.
I don't think he played terrible in the Carabao Cup. I think he played well. I'm be honest. Like I thought
he played fantastic.
Honestly. I think he's growing into himself. I'm gonna give him the rest of the season and hold the next season because it's hard to come in that situation with that team and that no fluidity and getting thrown in there and everyone's like, oh, you got paid this much wages. Yeah, he should be doing it, but I don't think he did terrible, honestly.
I mean, he could have been on the other side and he could have won a trophy by now, but that's on him.
That is on him.
Well, Birchie and I were talking about, like, you look at Caicedo, right? And then you look at Endo. How much was Endo? Like 15 million?
But yeah,
it was a lot more than that.
It goes into it more. Jurgen Klopp has I think he develops talent better than Poch. And I think something about Liverpool is they've always been able to get these players who go under the radar and then turn them into something, you know, like something about Chelsea bringing all these players. I think it's just a bad time he came in for the amount of money. I really do. I think
it's not his team. It's not his team, you know. Yeah. It's not his team, unfortunately. But to just quickly go back, Conor Gallagher, just real quick, we'd be having a completely different conversation if 1 or 2 or 3 of those goals would have gone in over the whole season, if we're being honest.
We do absolutely. We do absolutely.
I'm saying he does. He's a workhorse. He has the engine. You know, he plays. He's honestly a guy that plays for the badge. You know, he really is. But if he scores 1 or 2 of those goals, I mean, I think we're having a different conversation here.
Right,
no, yeah, of course. Like it's the reality we're at. If like he did 99% of the part right, he just didn't finish. Like that's really all it comes down to, right?
See, I feel like we're having deja vu because we had this conversation about this time last year actually about a certain man called Mason Mount. Also a workhorse. He worked for the badge. He worked so hard.
He did.
Look where it got him, man. And I see Conor Gallagher fitting that bill too. Jake Zek, I don't think I've ever agreed with you so much in my entire life about what you just said about Conor Gallagher. The fact that he is too high. All right, he's getting good opportunities, but he's not the man to finish the job. Put somebody else in there. Why doesn't him and Enzo just do a straight swap?
Yeah.
Let Enzo be that guy and go finish.
He's won a World Cup, mate. Like he's got more quality and more composure in front of goal. Gallagher literally shits the bed.
Do you think Enzo can cover the ground like Connor can, though? I don't think so.
He doesn't need.
I think between him and Caicedo, then you let Enzo have a little more freedom.
Yeah, he doesn't need to do that. That's not his role, bro. Like he's a creative player. Gallagher doesn't have that touch.
Is Gallagher only covering that much ground because he's trying maybe a little too hard? Like, does he need to be doing this much work?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. But again, I just kind of think that's kind of who he is, though. He kind of flies all over the place, and like he's like I said, he's not the most technical guy. He's not like a superstar kind of guy. I think he knows that. But again, if he finishes 1 or 2 of those chances, people will call him a hero.
I know, right? John, let me just tell you, when I said he's like more of a Crystal Palace and West Ham, he was at Crystal Palace last year, and he balled out.
He was the guy.
He was the guy. Exactly. 8 goals, 3 assists.
That's what we're saying.
Like Chelsea is maybe too much to ask for him. Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah,
it reminds me a lot of Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley was at Chelsea. He came from Everton, was doing well, but he wasn't Chelsea quality. And then he goes down to a lower squad, Luton. And he's the guy driving, might get a Euro call up. I think it's a very similar situation. I really do.
I mean, like I said, it just depends on what you're looking for. I think why is Tottenham trying to buy him for 50 mil, 60 mil? You know, like,
that's Tottenham as well. Look, we're talking about middle of the way teens,
right?
We do this every time.
What?
There's a levels to this game, and if you want to get to the top where Chelsea, I believe fully, wholeheartedly that Chelsea should be a top 4 team.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have guys like Conor Gallagher in your team. give him to Tottenham so they can continue to be 5th and 6th.
I think
Everyone's happy.
Yeah, I mean, Tottenham's atrocious. But no, again, I don't think it's a player you just completely dismiss, though, right? I mean, you can bring him off the bench, you bring some energy off the bench. Yeah, again, I've never said that Conor Gallagher should be our 10. I've never said that. Never mind. I will never say that. Right? But I'm just saying, like, he's put himself in good situations, and like I said, maybe the moment's too big for him. I don't know. But I get it. It's just so it's such a missed opportunity. I must say that this last weekend, just a missed opportunity.
Another one.
I would agree. Opportunities, but yeah.
But I mean, if for all those that say like Chelsea's finished though, and that like we're done, and like we've made it. What was it since 2018? 6 domestic cup finals. If that's the case, Tottenham's never started. Like to say, I mean, if we're being honest here, we're still up there.
Johnny, you keep comparing yourself to Tottenham, bro. Like, you guys are in 11th place right now. 11th place in the Premier League. 11th. I'm looking at it right now. You're 11th place.
Okay. Game in hand, but yeah.
You can have 3 games in hand, but we're saying we respect Chelsea enough from growing up and seeing where they were, all the days of glory of the Chelsea, right. And to be able to. I think if you guys didn't spend this amount of money, then it wouldn't be so hard. But the amount you spend this amount of wages and you're in 11th place, it just adds fuel to the fire.
Trust me, at the end of the day, I understand that everything's based off trophies, right? Nothing else matters. You can play absolute garbage for 38 games or whatever it is, but win a trophy, no one will care, right? Like I said, this weekend was a missed opportunity to kind of get that extra pressure off their backs a little bit. Unfortunately, they just added to it, and there was some immaturity. All that stuff to go along with it. But fortunately for them, they got the FA Cup still. The only London team left in it. I mean, it's 100-0. You got to go for it. That's all it is.
Yep.
And I'll say this, John, I'm rooting for Chelsea. I kind of want you guys to be a bit more successful than you are. I feel bad for some of the guys out there. Like Mudryk, I don't know what it is. I feel for him a little bit. I do. We got bullied.
I don't.
Like I said, and it's that whole perspective. I mean, it's been 2 bad years for Chelsea, right? I mean, everyone goes through
atrocious years.
Okay, atrocious years. Okay, if you want to emphasize the point,
bro, it's been terrible.
It's okay. I understand. That Liverpool back 5-6 years ago, whatever it was, they were atrocious, Birch. Right?
Hey, I fully agree.
Like I said,
maybe a little longer than that because
maybe a little longer, right?
If Banter Boys were around for that, we'd be giving them a lot of slack too.
Yeah.
But to move off Chelsea, I know this wasn't a bash. You want your last words, Zach?
Yeah. Jono, just a straight up question, man to man. I've known you for a long time, right? When is that excuse of like, or not even the excuse, but more along the lines of, like, in terms of the overall feel of the team, when is it going to be okay? Because we're talking about 2 years down the road, spent over billions of dollars on these players. When is the excuse of we still need more time to like form as a team? When is that going to go out the door?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, when you sign a player for 8 years, it's definitely a future contract and not like a now contract, right? If you're signing a 20-year-old at for that amount of money for, again, 8 years.
I got the finances part, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's some asterisks in there, I'm sure. But like I said, if you think that Chelsea's just going to be in this state for the next 2, 3, 4 years and continue on this, I just can't see that happening. Whether we bring another player in or whatnot, or we let some people go, something's going to happen. Chelsea's too big of a club for that for just to be the average, the standard. Like it's not going to go on forever. Specifically, I mean, I don't know, but like I said, we have the youngest squad in the Prem. I like where we are in terms of just personnel. Like I said, Caicedo, I thought he played really well this last weekend, honestly. But like I said, you never know. Let's get past this year. Hopefully, come back next summer healthy and see what happens.
So just to quickly rephrase that. So let's just put ourselves in this year, right? 2025, Banter Boys, February 27th next year.
Yeah.
We asked the same question, you, Jono. Mm-hmm. Chelsea is sitting in 11th spot, 2025. How are you? Like, are you still okay with it? We're like, oh, we're still kicking. They're trying hard.
It's just like we all know that you need some consistency. Chelsea is one of the clubs that just doesn't thrive on consistency, whether that's a manager, whether that's players being injured, whether that's performances, So, like, there's a whole bunch of factors that go into all that stuff. So, like, again, a year from now, it's hard to say, but it would be really disappointing if we're still 10th by this point next year, obviously, But, again.
I agree, but for me, it's a little shorter straw. I'll give y'all to, like, the end of the calendar year, December. I think at that point, you should be able to know if things can turn around.
I think that's reasonable. Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
I feel like low key Chelsea is playing like roulette. They buy a player and they hope that player is
exactly right.
And literally make sure all the other players are playing well. Like now, obviously, Nkunku out again. Obviously, Victor Osimhen is a big topic right now. So obviously, Chelsea, I'm sure, is going to try and splurge and go and get Victor. And maybe they think that will be the piece that will bring them back. But I don't know.
Like I said, I guess just some things just don't happen just overnight, and I guess this is just unfortunately one of those situations. But I know last
bit is just 7 managers in 6 years, Jono.
Exactly right. That's the no consistency I'm talking about.
And Poch looks like he's on thin ice right too, bro. Maybe one more loss, we might see Poch out.
No, he'll finish the season.
At the end of the calendar year, I say December. I say December of next year. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that's realistic. Give the lad a little bit of time. I don't think he's put his first team out that he's actually wanted to put out yet. I mean, just with injuries and all that stuff. So, like I said, I think if they give him time, something could work. But again, you never know.
Jono, you've done a great job defending yourself.
Yeah, well done, Jono.
You have done well. I appreciate you doing that.
I didn't think we played that well, or I didn't think we played that bad this week. And again, it's
not, but
it's just a culmination.
It's combination, right? All the things add up. Yeah, you get it. Yeah.
As long as you remember that it was boys against men, and somehow the boys won. High school.
Our average age was 22, I think. But yeah, I mean, yes, to your point, yeah.
Anyways,
yeah. On to the next.
Let's just go 4 points back or 4 spots back from 11th to 15th. We have a new 15th place in the Premier League.
We do indeed.
And does anyone know who it is?
I know.
Well, it's Everton. This week we won our appeal. Not even won our appeal. They came back and said that instead of 10 points we're deducting you, it's only 6. Like, oh, Benny, it's 4 points. That's a win, and wins are hard to come by when you reach that type of level in the table. So for me personally, I've had a great week. It's been phenomenal. My team has climbed out of relegation. We're sitting at 25th, 5 points ahead of Luton, who can't buy a win right now. The outlook is positive for me. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm happy right now. So that's all.
I'm happy for you, Benny, but tough times are still around the corner. There's still some more allegations being thrown around. I think you've got a tough run of fixtures ahead of you.
Yeah.
How do you think you fare in the next month or two, given the end of the season is kind of on the horizon now?
Yeah, let me read the next 3.
It's tough.
We have West Ham at home, who's coming off a good result. We have Man United away and Liverpool at home.
Oh.
I see.
How many points of those 9 are you taking home?
I'm being realistic because that's what we do at the Banter Boys. We be realistic. I think on the good end, the highest amount we can win is 4, and that is a win against West Ham and a draw against either United or Liverpool. The least amount of points we could get is 0. We could very well go 0-3 in those games, and I could see it happening very, very well.
Yeah.
But like Birchie, anything can happen in Derby. We could sneak away with a win there.
Yep. Man
United has been slacking a little bit, so I don't know. Those games really will decide a lot for the season, And then we go on to Bournemouth and Newcastle and Burnley, where we have to get points there. It's tough, Birchie. It really is. But at the end of the day, I think we have the manager for it, and I think our defense is strong enough to not concede as much. It's just if we can score goals. And that'll keep us up. I think we probably finish around 15th, maybe 14th place, maybe 16th, but no higher than 14th. So,
Benny, that's a good point. I'm actually gonna. You know what? You've influenced me a little bit. I'm gonna change my winner of the week to just the city of Liverpool. Just the city of Liverpool. Obviously Liverpool did their thing, and then Everton, they're at night, they're sleeping, they wake up, they see just like a glimpse light come across. And that's 4 points. That's what that is.
That's a lot of points. That's a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. So I give my winner to the city of Liverpool. I do.
Appreciate that, Jono. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think Everton, to be fair, like, you know what I mean? You guys have gone through a lot of adversity this entire year, but I think if you guys can kind of keep steady, get a couple good results, maybe over the next month or so, go into preseason, maybe you get a couple more players. Maybe a couple players look at maybe Everton might be a team for the next couple of years and you start building something. But I know we thought Everton was going to be in shambles, but they keep climbing their way out of it. So
agreed. And I just think we almost won against Brighton in the last minute game winning goal or tying goal at Brighton, but we ended up tying that game. At the end of the day, I think we put ourselves in a good position right now. Like, we've won early in the Premier League. And I think that sanction doesn't come, we lose 10 points, it might be a different season. That does a lot mentally for a player. Like I've said earlier in the podcast, like seeing your team in relegation zone and for weeks in and weeks out for nothing you did, but just by the governing body is hard. You wake up and like, how can I be in this position again after we've done this for the past 2-3 years? It does a lot mentally. So to be able to be out of it right now, I think it will boost our morale. And if I'm a betting man, I'm putting money on Everton against West Ham this weekend.
So a question slightly off topic. So is the stress of Everton Football Club causing people like Tarkovsky to move to the reality TV world? Are you guys seeing this too?
I did see that. I did see that man on reality TV.
Oh, it's hilarious.
What show is it?
I don't know I think it's like Footballers' Wives or something. I don't know. It's gotta be.
I saw that man Jorginho on it too.
Yes. I need to watch that show, but
that's funny. No, the stress. The players are definitely under stress. They probably don't want to come home to their kids asking for things and nagging people. It's stressful. That's all. But overall, I'm happy about Everton. If no one has anything else to say, we can move on to predictions.
Okay.
So we got a few fixtures for you guys this week to predict on. The first one being, we just talked about them. Let's just see what Chelsea can do at Brentford. John?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just same old Chelsea, same old story. Can they finish? Can they put the ball in the net? I give us a 2-1 result there, I think. I don't think that's far off. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1. I think that's pretty realistic. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Chelsea. I think they'll come back firing after the loss, and they'll get some goals going. I really am hoping you guys do, because 3-1's a lot, but we'll see. I'm going 3-1 Chelsea.
Yeah.
I'm going 2-1 Brentford. I think Brentford's a tough team to play against, to be honest with you. And I think obviously having why am I drawing a blank real quick?
Ivan Toney, Neil Maupay.
Yeah, Ivan Toney, and then you got Maupay who just scored as well. Like
he's bagged like 5 goals in the last 5 games. It's crazy.
Does it hurt you that it? You know what I mean? Just sometimes it's not the right team. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's what we're talking about Conor Gallagher. But yeah, Neil Maupay was on Everton's team for 2 years, maybe bagged 1 shot on target, and this man goes to Brentford and is bagging goals left and right. I can't believe it.
Didn't he go a full year without scoring a goal as a forward?
Yes, a full calendar year. All comps.
Yeah, that's it.
Like 50+ games.
And similar to Zach's lines, I think it's going to be tough for Chelsea to come back from. I think they're going to see the Carabao Cup as their real one shot at some silverware this year. Maybe a dampen the dressing room a little bit. They're going to go down to Brentford early, 1-0. And then, who knows, Conor Gallagher might work really hard in the 90th minute and score to make it 1-1. But the scoreline at least is going to be 1-1. That's what I think.
I respect y'all's. I like that. Moving on to the next fixture. Everton versus West Ham at Goodison Park.
I'll go. Everton 2-0. I think they're going to have a phenomenal performance. Positive news. Fans are going to be ready to rumble. It's going to be a theater in there. They're going to kick it hard. 2-0.
I'm going 2-0 West Ham. West Ham, bro, if you think about it, their front 4, Paquetá, Bowen, Kudus. Like, bro, you got Ward-Prowse. They got a good team, bro. I know Everton's been in like a decent run of form, but I don't know. I think West Ham's just a little too strong for them.
We've actually been a poor run of form. And actually,
Very poor.
West Ham has been poor too. Besides the 4-2 win against Brentford, they've lost 2-0 to Nottingham, 6-0 to Arsenal, 3-0 to Man. High Bournemouth 1-1. But that's a good run of form. All right, Zach. All right, John, I'm back to you.
Yeah, no, you guys laughed at me not too long ago about having James Bowen in my squad. And put on a hattie last game, so I got to go with my boys, the Irons. I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham. You know, Bowen gets another one. He's in form right now. He gets another one.
I think 2-1 Everton. I think they do nag one, but I think the roar of Goodison and just the momentum we have, I think we'll come victorious in that one. So,
are we gonna see some the Cards and the Sands this weekend? Are we?
I don't know what we're gonna see. Just make sure you tune on your TV 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. What's that? 6 p.m. 6. Oh man, never mind.
That'll be a 3 p.m. kickoff in the UK.
Yeah, I meant a.m. But y'all get the point.
Yeah.
All right, last game for us to predict. It's a derby. City of Manchester at the Etihad versus Man United. Predictions.
Big game.
Massive game.
I'm gonna have to say sorry to Logan ahead of time. I mean, I think Haaland just scored 5, like in the cup against Luton. He has had his shooting practice for the week. He's going to be ready to rumble. I'm saying a solid 3-0, 3-1 to see.
I'm saying I'm going a little bit bold. I'm going 4-0 City.
Wow.
City's a little bit too strong right now. They're going up. United's going down. Haaland just went off 5 goals.
Yeah.
I mean, De Bruyne is back. De Bruyne is in form. Like, he had 4 assists. Yeah, like, he's scoring goals. Like, it's pretty crazy because if you think about it, when we were talking when he was away from injury, we were talking about, like, what difference that he's going to make. And I think we're all a little bit skeptical about him coming back, being, out injured for, 3 or 4 months. But for him to come back and make an impact from the start, not just make an impact, but be like a complete game changer. Yeah, bro, they look good. They look good.
I like that. It's very bold, but I'm just gonna go kind of with Birchie 3-0 or 3-1 Manchester City. They're just too strong right now, and is slipping. So I think everyone predicts that. What did Ferguson say? Not in my lifetime will ever City walk into a derby as favorites. Well, it's his lifetime, and it's been 5 years.
It's been like that for a while.
Yeah. Tough.
Yeah. If United doesn't have their 9, I mean, I can't see them scoring.
Yeah.
I'm going a generous 2-0 the City, but
it could get out of hand. It really could.
Like I said, it's a derby, though. You never know.
It is a derby. We never know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But anyways, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today on this episode. We'll see what happens. A lot of bold takes, a lot of hot takes. And as always,